found it. Better start stretching the day, cause we bout this. If this is the way that it must be done, I'm doing it the best, then trust me, son. Rebel, no pauses, taking out your forces with a switchblade and a rusty gun. Doing this forever, you've just begun. Don't start none, it won't be none. Metaphors, similes, jokes, and puns. Got whole squads of rap cats on the run. Since the only way out is through, not around. Then line them up, I'ma knock them down. Look at the way I rock a crowd. Got a big head, how could I not be proud? Ace said no bites allowed, so I'm firing shots across the bow. Piece to Mike Jackson, ain't no doubt. Excuse me while I make my way out. Shell toes, peanut butter skim on the beat, on the rhythm, black smooth tip, rim on the beat. I'm a dip, don't trip on the stick off the rip. No price, no sticker, you can rip off the gift. No item you can pick off the list. Get up on the game, I'ma tell you can get off of this. We taking a stand to get counted. Soon as we open it up and get routed, turning it up and get loud, cause we've been heating it up since we found it. Storming the barn and get down, see how we burning it up with thick cloud. Try to struggle away to get round it. Better start stretching the day, cause we bout this. son. Rebel no pauses, taking out your forces with a switchblade and a rusty gun. Doing this forever, you've just begun. Don't start none, it won't be none. Metaphors, similes, jokes, and puns. Got whole squad of rap cats on the run. Since the only way out is through, not around. Then line them up, I'ma knock them down. Look at the way I rock a crowd. Got a big head, how could I not be proud? Ace said no bites allowed, so I'm firing shots across the bow. Peace to Mike Jackson, ain't no doubt. Excuse me while I make my way out.
Shell toes, peanut butter skimmed on the beat, on the rhythm, glass smooth tip, rimmed on the beat. I'm a dip, don't trip on the stick off the rip. No price, no sticker, you can rip off the gift. No item you can pick off the list. Get up on the game, I'ma tell you, you can get off of this. We taking a stand to get counted. Soon as we open it up and get routed, turning it up and get loud, cause we've been heating it up since we found it. Storming the barn to get down, see how we burning it up with thick cloud. Try to struggle away to get rounded. Better start stretching today, cause we bout this.
Coming in live, Gangstagrass, through the tubes of the interspace. And here we are, streaming live.
In your face.
Only on Dave TV.
I was telling someone about that we saw that, and the only way I know it, the literal only way I know that, is from having watched Weird Science a million times. And I never actually saw it on MTV. It was a real thing though?
Oh yeah, it was on MTV all the time.
Okay.
It was in heavy rotation, the video. We're talking about the David Lee Roth video for Gigolo.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a different Tabitha Soren. Like, I really did. I thought that Dave must have done the MTV News or something, and I just never...
No. Yeah. In a parallel universe, different timeline. David Lee Roth was the host.
I knew that not at all.
Let's give it up for Tabitha Soren for a moment. I believe she was the one that interviewed Bill Clinton and asked him about his favorite musician, and he said Thelonious Monk, and she said, "Who is the loneliest monk?"
Well, she was the original Nardwuar.
Nardwuar knows his stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess she was the original Zach Galifianakis.
Yes.
Wow.
Someday Gangstagrass will be on Between Two Ferns.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Fingers crossed, y'all.
Yeah.
We'll talk about ferns and fronds and cultivating.
Yeah. So, hello everybody tuning in to us on the YouTube and the Facebooks and the Twitches. Say hi in the comments. Let us know anything you want to hear about behind the scenes.
Hey, what's up?
Lots of exciting stuff going on with Gangstagrass.
Yeah.
What's up, Marius? What up, Tanya?
Mm-hmm.
See you giving a shout out to Ash.
Yeah. Anybody watching on the Twitch stream, if you put any emojis in the chat, they float across the screen. So it's a little bit interactive.
Yeah, what's up, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we weren't here last week because we were en route.
Yes. Headed to Boone, North Carolina. That was a fun show, y'all. Shout out to the Appalachian Theater of the High Country. All the many people who came out. We had little kids. There's one little kid danced so hard in the front row the whole time that he was at the water fountain after the show for a good 10 minutes, just drinking all the water.
Yeah, well, he had moves, man.
He had moves.
He had some fancy footwork, man. He was getting down the whole show, the entire show,
the whole thing. And he, you know, and it's like everybody at the Gangstagrass show brings the party. You know, this kid was going across the, like, he, you know, there was a dance area in front of the stage. Also, shout out to the Appalachian Theater of the High Country for making that happen. And you know, and people, like, it was crowded, but people were, like, you know, leaving some room so that everybody could move, which was very cool. And this little kid, like, you know, sometimes he'd be on this side of the stage, sometimes he'd be on the other side of the stage. Other people in the crowd started dancing with him, and at one point they were doing, like, synchronized movements. People had never met each other before the show. It was beautiful. It was so nice.
One thing they did know was the words to the songs. Shout out if you know the words to the songs.
Yeah, it was out there. That always astounds me when I see people who it's because when we ask, like, who we view as this is the first Gangstagrass show, a good half of them at least.
Oh yeah, a lot of those. But
they knew the words.
There's no saying for sure that those weren't the people that were singing, because, like, nowadays, you know, for the past 100 years, like, recordings have existed, and you could have, like, you hear from some people sometimes, especially in other countries, like in England, like Liverpool, people talk about, like, I've been following you guys for 10 years, and this is my first chance to see you live, and I've been listening to your music for 10 years, and I've been excited about this for 10 years. And so then they come in, and, like, Liverpool is a great example because there were so many people who already knew a lot of our words really well. And so that happened again at Boone. There was a whole section right up front. Like, at one point, I just stopped singing. I was like, you know, I think I am fairly confident that they got this. You know, when you stop singing, you're like, you go, and then they don't. I was, you know, you don't want that to happen, but that did not happen. That did not happen this time. They had it.
They did have it. Yeah. They had it. They really did have it in Liverpool too. Liverpool was amazing because that show, you know, we do our best to make sure that we keep the volume reasonable, you know, as you know, from my perspective, I want to make sure that all these guys have nice long music careers with no hearing damage, that, you know, they can keep on doing this for a long time, and we want the same for our audiences, you know, no hearing damage. We want the little kids to all be okay. And so the shows, you know, the shows are a moderate, reasonable volume. Liverpool, the sound engineer kept turning up the volume in the room because he was trying to drown out the sound of the people singing, which was so loud. And I was like, no, we want it, it's great, we love it. It's fine. Don't drown them out. We love it.
Shout out to Liverpool. Hopefully we get back out there. Maybe we get to stay on that boat again.
They made fun of me for booking that boat.
Who did?
Y'all.
We did?
Yes.
Not me.
What are you talking about?
We joked around. It was still fun.
Are you talking about that guy?
Anytime we get to sleep on a boat, I like that.
Are you talking about that guy who says the things about the accommodations? That guy who we were so accurately able to predict his reaction to our cabin in the woods experience? He's not here right now, but I'm sure you know the guy to whom I refer.
Yeah.
No, it's not us. We dug the boat. It was a great boat.
Yeah, we slept on the Titanic.
It
Yeah.
It was Titanic themed. That is correct. And even like down to the slant.
Yeah, it was like actually slanted, which was fun. That was cool. Shout out to Rodney Brannigan because he helped. He was there with us, and
That's right.
he had a good old time with us too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big Rod.
That's right.
Yeah,
And-
man.
And Rand would not have been wrong about that last cabin in the woods. In fairness, that driveway was a thing. Like the road to get there, when they, hairpin turns.
But the cabin was still pretty baller.
The cabin was lovely.
It was
Nice
just,
view.
it was out there in the mountains.
It was definitely in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple things can be true at
Yeah.
the same time.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know.
But it had a really good sunrise
It did.
because that's what woke me up. That was my alarm clock.
It did. So, Kling in the YouTube comments is wondering if we play shows near Denver, and the answer is
Never.
absolutely.
Yes. It's been a minute since we actually did it in Denver proper. But we've done, Pagosa Springs, Durango, around that area.
Mhm.
We do get out to Colorado.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And over on the Facebook, we have a question from Tanya about when McMinnville, Tennessee is going to be rescheduled. We are still working on that rescheduling. We had a date that would have been really awesome, but it turned out it was the local high school graduation night.
Mhm.
And yeah, we were not going to try to compete with the local high school
Yeah.
graduation. We want them and their parents and their grandparents and their little baby kid sisters or whatever. We want them all at the show. We don't
Mhm.
we don't
We
want-
don't want them to graduate.
we
But,
I don't. I don't. Graduation is overrated.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we will definitely let everybody know as soon as we have a rescheduled date on McMinnville. I'm sure it will be happening soon. We are really excited to get down to the Park Theater down there.
Well, definitely. Oh, shout out to Jen in the Pacific Northwest there.
Hey.
We'll be out your way in a while. I mean, we always get out there, so we will get out there.
Oh, yeah. And Jen did mention being excited for our Kickstarter.
Yes.
We are kicking off a new album and bringing in everybody to be involved and help making it a reality.
That's right.
Yo,
And a fun thing happened. Can we talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
yes. At around 6 something this afternoon or this evening, we hit a milestone, which is good. Which means we can
Yes.
start cranking on actually getting this there.
That's right.
Our next step is getting us to the level where we can start cranking some vinyls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the initial goal of the
Yes.
Kickstarter, we have gotten to our initial goal, unlocking some cool new stuff and getting us our targets set on our next stretch goal. Like Dolio said, bringing in some funding for pushing out some vinyls, and when we get to our next stretch goal, which is going to be at 25,000, we will be announcing the name of the album.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Feel free to take guesses or make suggestions for album names in the chat,
Yep.
and we will let you know if you are correct.
Or if
Ooh.
you are close.
Yeah.
When will the album launch party be in DC? Says Marlana Pennington.
Yes.
There will
Album
be.
launch party, Washington, D.C. You can get tickets for that by the Kickstarter. You can get VIP tickets at certain levels on the Kickstarter. There's also an add-on option for just regular standard tickets. And I want to say that's super reasonably priced. Like, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, something totally reasonable. So yeah, there will be an album launch party in DC. It's going to be so fun. As the DC resident here, I'm particularly excited about that. Yeah, we got that coming, and the album, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, and it's gonna be It's gonna at least exist. We have gotten far enough for it to exist.
We are a band,
Yes.
and our album exists.
It will exist.
It's
Yo.
now confirmed.
That's what we should have said on AGT, right?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, but
Yes.
cool thing is hitting this first milestone means that it has solidified the album as a real thing.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yes, now we are officially bringing it to you.
Yes, and it's really cool, in our position, which is that we're not like just starting out local band that wouldn't necessarily be able to raise money. We have a fan base. We have amazing fans that we love you all so much, and in this day and age, we have the tools that allow us to bring in the resources from our amazing fans, so that who needs a record label? Not
Right.
us. It's now
Yeah.
you fans are now stepping in to do the funding that bands like us used to depend on record labels for, and now we get to share that with you and be able to do it the way we want to do it, with no strings attached.
Right. We don't have to deal with some A&R telling us,
Mhm.
no, you can't make that record. It's got too many
Mhm.
banjos in it.
Yeah, or forcing
no.
me to show more skin in our music videos.
Now you just show,
Bikini.
now you just put on the bikini because
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, not because I'm a piece of meat for you.
Then
Yeah.
Big slab of man candy.
I won't
Sorry, what?
mention the hidden Kickstarter level then.
At the $40,000 level, we unlock wrench in the bikini. No.
It's
See, you open that door up with the commercial. They were like,
Mhm.
That's right. If you haven't seen the little commercial that that was created for this Kickstarter, all out of Wrench's mind. Once again,
Yeah.
you're a fan of this band, you're a fan of Wrench's Mind. Go check out what
Yeah.
Wrench's Mind did. It is on the Kickstarter page. That and you can get to that from basically everywhere. You can get to that from the Gangstagrass page. You can get to that from our hyperfollow link, hyperfollow.com/gangstagrass. You can get to
you
that
can even get it from my site.
Yeah,
those
I
those
can-
of you who are
and I can put
barnstormers,
a-
you can get to it from gangstagrass.com/barnstormers. Wrench is going to pop some links into
There
the
we
chats
go.
here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was funny.
I was just gonna give a shout out to Kickstarter and their wacky model, because with Kickstarter, if you don't hit your initial goal, you don't get anything. Nobody gets anything. No rewards happen. No funding happens. It's like it never existed at all. So if we wanted to be like big gamblers and basically set the really high goal of like what it is that we actually want to do with this album, what we really think can be done with this album to get it out to so many people and to do really amazing music videos and all that stuff, we could have done that, and I think we will reach that goal. But with Kickstarter,
$1 million.
yeah. But with,
We could
with
with
Kickstarter,
that,
you
we
don't
put a
wanna do it that
Gangstagrass
way.
in every pot.
A Gangstagrass in every pot. Yes. So we are still trying to get there, but we did it the smart way, which is recognizing that Kickstarter has these particular all or nothing parameters. So if if we set the actual goal that we wanted and we were $5 short of it at the end of the campaign, nothing would happen. The album wouldn't happen. The vinyl wouldn't happen. The music videos wouldn't happen. It would all go away. And we just didn't want to take that risk. So we are at the point where the project is for sure official. It's definitely happening. So whatever you backed, you will get it. If you want to raise your backing, you can do that. If you want to get some of those add-ons, you can do that. It's all really, really happening. And the next thing we're trying to hit is that vinyl goal. So when we hit that next 25K, when we hit 25K, we actually have the money to do vinyl. That said,
And
there's still the patron saint of vinyl. If you want to be the patron saint of vinyl, you can do that, and you can pick the color of the record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a vinyl fiend myself, so
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
Wrench?
shall patronize
And-
the sainthood.
And when we hit that next goal, we will officially announce a title for the album,
Yes.
which means we have to go figure out what the title of the album is.
Ooh,
We're still taking guesses.
Tanya wants to know what your 900 number is.
Yeah. Actually, somebody did suggest that we actually set up a 900 number that people call and get music, which of course harkens back to They Might Be Giants, Dial a Song.
Dial a song!
Yeah.
I used to call the local library in my hometown. I used to have this dial a story.
Oh.
Where every day you could call in, and it would basically read you a story.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've been a proponent of Gangstagrass doing a dial song from the very beginning. It's, you know, but it is a little bit of a, you know, a thing, but I don't see why that can't be a stretch goal. You want Gangstagrass to have a dial song? Let's talk about it. So if you have ideas for stretch goals, for things, you know, that we should consider as stretch goals, pop those into the chat too. And yes, Tanya asked, so we can add on to our former contribution. Yes, you can. You can choose a higher level. You can choose to do the add-ons as well. You absolutely can do that. Yes, go for it. In fact, somebody just today upgraded from the mystery box to the Super 7, which is the custom 7-inch vinyl. Yeah.
Is that like a Super 8 camera, but not?
It's exactly what it
Not
is.
quite.
It's precisely that.
You know they're making a Super 8 camera?
I don't know what that means. Super 8 is a hotel, right?
Yes. It's a hotel.
They're making
a camera.
Are they also
Oh,
making
the hotel.
a Motel 6 instant?
Yeah. That is the worst cross branding I can imagine. A hotel branded camera. Please don't think too hard about it.
Do not. That's not.
It's fine. No.
So I was just
French
thinking,
film
random thought, out of nowhere. I thought maybe for our album title, we could call our new album Renaissance Act 2. Just brainstorming.
Oh yeah. Oh, since our resident sports guy is not on the call today because he's tending to his ill son, I have to extend my congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for bringing home that championship Super Bowl this weekend. And shout out to Truman Jones, my frat brother from Harvard, who has been able to get a Super Bowl ring on his first team and within a year of being on the team.
Wow. That's awesome.
And since I guess we brought up the Renaissance Act 2 situation, shout out to Rihanna Giddens and Demeanor for being able to contribute to that first single.
Heck
Also,
yeah.
shout out to Robert Randolph. Credit where credit is due. Not that single, but being on the album. It's just it's a very exciting thing. It's very cool. You know what I like is like, I don't know. I don't need to I don't follow Beyonce, but I heard about all of that from just because I follow Rihanna Giddens and I follow Robert Randolph. They were like, "Oh, what's up? This is Beyonce track." It's always a good feeling when you follow small independent artists and then they get a piece of the pie and you're like, "Oh, cool, good job." I follow you either way, but good job.
Yeah.
That's a feeling that you all could feel.
Yeah.
From following us.
Oh, and shout out to Dion Harmon for delivering another spectacular production for the halftime show. That was a pretty bang up job.
The roller skates were my favorite part. When that started, I was like, why did they not do a whole thing like this?
Especially the roller skater that went off the edge of the stage. Shout out to you. You're an American hero.
That happened?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Dang.
No,
Was
I missed
that like
She's okay.
left
She's
shark
okay.
sort of deal?
Yeah. She's okay. Little face bruise, but that's about it.
Ah.
Well,
I,
face bruises
I
will
have
happen.
some sympathy for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Since you mentioned it, do you want to tell that story, Sleeves?
Sometimes I trip and fall. Nobody has beaten me up. Not this time, anyway. I was making a funny face at Wrench, and then I
You got
turned on my heel and walked away and just tripped and fell at like a gas station on the concrete. Wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been. I scraped up my knee a little bit, my hands a little messed up. And I but I had so much momentum that I like smacked my cheek on the concrete, and I felt it. I smacked it hard, and as it was happening, I was like, wow, that's gonna look real bad in a few days. Like, I'm gonna have like a yellow and purple face. It might be twice its normal size. It's gonna be, I'm gonna walk into the office and people are gonna be like, what did they do to you? Turned out it's been fine. It like gave me a nice little contour under my, like it's purple, but you can't quite tell that. It looks like I just defined my cheek really nicely. So
we got onto it with the cold stuff real quick.
yeah.
Gangstagrass does not endorse hitting your face to achieve a contoured look.
I mean, I don't wear makeup, so it's it's nice. It's nice to have a little contour cheek, even if it's just the one. But yeah, no, everybody was super nice.
I think it's a valid alternative to Botox is to just have your face punched.
I think so.
I think it's way better.
It's like the alternative to acupuncture, which is acubeating. Instead of little needles, it's just fists.
Acupunch.
Gangstagrass does not endorse acubeating.
Yep.
We have to keep doing this disclaimers.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the asterisk on this whole.
If you experience
part of the
any of these side effects, please contact your doctor immediately.
Bruising, swelling, inflammation, broken bones.
There are no
Surprise
Kickstarter
contouring.
levels where you get to when you get to punch anyone in Gangstagrass. But shout out to Caden for supporting the Kickstarter.
Yo,
we see
shout
you.
out.
We appreciate you. Yeah.
You know
Anyone wants to know if you need
is-
some PT sleeves?
I'm
You know
okay.
what's great? You know what's great?
Thank you.
Almost never have we played a show where people just threw things at us. I have to say almost never because we went to the Netherlands this past summer. But
We've had
Oh, that's right. The ribs.
we've had articles of clothing thrown at us.
That's not so bad.
yeah,
No.
as long as they're not like shoes, like you think about that, like
Yeah, you don't want a shoe thrown at you.
like I tell my 3-year-old all the time, think about like how it might make the other person feel. I'm confident though that I can impart this lesson on him like by the time he's
There's
not
been
3
multiple-
anymore.
There's been multiple cities where people threw money at us.
Yeah, that one can go either way. Like in Canada.
Yeah, and luckily it was bills, not
Yeah.
coins. Nobody was
Yeah.
flinging toonies at us.
Yeah, don't go to Alberta. Is all I'll say about that. But don't go to certain places in Alberta. I'm not writing off the whole province.
Yeah. Really.
Oh, and the people in the Pacific Northwest and in Colorado threw other things on stage
Yeah, but again,
of the plant variety.
not like soft and lightweight.
Yeah, nice pillowy.
Except for the ones in the Christmas tins. Those were.
Yeah, the Christmas tin. They didn't throw those though. They handed us those. Or did they throw them?
That was a throw. Yeah. No.
I didn't see the throw.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
we were out back, and I don't know if you remember the venue was.
Oh, no.
There
That
was like
wasn't-
a wall. There was like
No.
a big wall, and then a top parking lot, and this
Ah,
this
yeah.
very eager fan threw like many Christmas tins, packed full of plant matter. Just threw them.
An absurd amount of plant matter. Let's just say was
Gardening supplies.
Wild.
yes.
One of them, actually, my favorite was, and I still have this tin. One of them was empty. Like one of them was a little Merry Christmas tin, and had like a little candy cane on it. And it was completely empty, and I just have to assume that like things were being consumed while things were being packed, and they just whatever.
Who ended up doinking the doinkers from those?
What?
I kicked no field goals during that time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. They went somewhere, so who knows?
I
Ooh,
don't.
there's a socks emoji.
Ooh,
Oh.
Old socks.
In the YouTube.
word. I like
Yeah.
socks.
Oh, and they're kind of socks too, right?
know.
They're the stripy
Yeah.
top
The
athletic
tube
socks.
socks. Yeah,
Oh.
baby.
Oh, the article of clothing, not
Mhm.
the character from the year.
Yo, the Raleigh Llama wants to know why Dan is so tiny.
Well, I want to know why he is so enormous.
Mhm.
Bam! If you haven't met him, he's very tall.
Very tall.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
also
up, Keith?
relatively tall.
It was
He's taller
awesome.
than me, so he's just rubbing it in.
Awesome as usual to have Keith and the fam
Yes.
at the show in North Carolina. It's the best.
That was really fun. That was really great.
Keith, the last time we were talking about like things that we do as hobbies that we're not very good at, and Wrench decided to take me to task on my shot composition here. And what happened, I won't recreate it, but what happened was I moved my camera, which I can do, and it ended up focused on a different part of my body.
Mm.
So we're just gonna roll with it tonight. We're not gonna try to improve it.
That reminds
for
me.
I did Kickstarter award.
That reminds you?
No, I did.
No,
And now, no, because remember, I couldn't think of something that was a hobby that I wouldn't be good at. And then I remembered, okay, just now when you mentioned that, as a photographer, I am great at taking pictures of plants and animals. But when it comes to shooting people, there's my shortcoming.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like given enough time and practice, I can get good at that.
If Randy were here, he
I'm
would
really
probably-
good at flowers.
If Randy were here, he would say the thing you're bad at is being in a picture that looks bad.
But that's not a hobby.
No, it's not. That's
Neither
your job.
is shooting people.
That is your job. Yeah.
But I don't know. He says that because he never sees the pictures that get discarded.
Well, none of us have ever seen any of them.
Right. You know, it's just that most of the people that take pictures of us are really good photographers.
Yeah.
Peace
What up,
Stuff
Will?
says, imagine. I wanna say, Gangstagrass Beatles collaboration coming soon. Hey, Will, how's it going?
Hey, we did kind of cross paths with Sir Paul at Glasgow.
Oh yeah. And the world's loudest stage. That
Yes.
That was nuts, man.
Glastonbury was insane. I would do it again though.
I would too, but I would try to figure out some way to get higher so when you get custom earplugs, at least as I was told, the highest level of noise reduction I could get was 25 decibels, like 5, 15, and 25, or 10, 20, and 25, something like that. So I got those 25 decibel, drop it down things, and it was still ear damagingly loud. Like we were as far as you could possibly get from the stage.
We
while
were
still,
at least
being within eye shot of it.
Yeah, we were like at least 100 yards away.
Oh, I'm gonna say way more than that, because there were thousands of people in that pit.
Yeah.
We were like all the way back in the outer ring, like basically at the food trucks. Now, you probably haven't been to Glastonbury. If you have, you know what we're talking about. But I mean, it's immense. There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people crowded in front of this stage, and it was so loud. And remember when there was that popping sound? Like, I don't know if it was part of the track,
it was during
during
Burner,
got unplugged, or
it was during Burner Boy's set, and it was something that was peeking out, so it sent that loud squeal across the thing, and people were like, ah.
Yeah, there was a scream of pain from the crowd. Like the whole crowd at once went, ah.
Once they got that figured out, he did an awesome set. With that initial sound conflict was just.
Somewhere across the universe, Obi-Wan Kenobi said that he sensed millions of voices crying out at once.
And suddenly silenced.
So I'm seeing some questions about the Kickstarter, and if you've already made if you already pledged and you want to get back to your donation page, all you have to do is go back to the Kickstarter page. So Wrench did drop the link in the chats. Gangstagrass.com/Kickstarter will get you there, and if you're logged in, it should just show you like on the side panel where it shows all the different levels. The top, it will have moved whatever you chose initially from where it was in the menu. Right in the menu, it's like from lowest cost to highest cost down at the bottom. And whichever one you chose, though, will have been moved from somewhere in the middle to up at the top. And it'll be like, you selected this. And there will be options there if you want to, update or adjust your selection. And then the way to get to the add-ons, I think it's the same way. I'm pretty sure it's the same way. Yeah. Take a look. I believe it's the same way. Or do like a text search, like a Control F, and look for add-on, or just look for the word add, ADD. You'll probably find a link to do that.
Dooby-dooby.
Yeah, if there's anybody tuned in right now, I know sometimes we have barnstormers tuning in to the Twitch and whatnot. You may have gotten the message already, but just so you know, the Barnstormers program is currently paused, and we'd like to focus your attention on the Kickstarter. So just bring that amazing Barnstormers love over to gangstagrass.com/kickstart and put your membership for the time being towards that, since we won't be taking out any money for your Barnstormers membership for the foreseeable future.
That's right. And we gave notice to the company that runs the tech side of that to stop the program. We are not full. They wrote back and acknowledged that we said that, and but we are not entirely persuaded that they have actually taken action on it, which is evidence of the kind of reason why we need to find a new purveyor of such things. But in the meantime, the Kickstarter is the place to go, and we are doing our best to make sure that the Barnstormers situation is resolved. It's possible that you might get an email that says like canceled or whatever. That's just hope. In fact, hopefully you will, such that they're confirming it. But in any case, we are very hard at work on that. And for the Barnstormers, all you have to do is go to gangstagrass.com/nickel or gangstagrass.com/platinum, and all those hidden videos and such that we shared with you over the course of the time that you were a Barnstormer, they're all still there. Yeah.
Indeed. And big props to Tom Norwood in the YouTube chat, who has pledged to the Kickstarter already. A friend of ours in Seattle that we've crossed paths with a number of times. And Tom notes that he's hearing Gangstagrass music on the Braver Angels podcast.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's been really good too. The Braver Angels podcast is phenomenal. If you haven't heard it yet, just look for it wherever you listen to podcasts. Moni, the host, is just amazing. She's really got her pulse on, or she's got her finger on the pulse of bringing people together across differences, and she brings a lot of different voices on, and they all talk with each other and explore the issues, and it's really cool. So Monty Guzman is the person who's at the front face of that, but there's an amazing team back there. Shout out to Jessica Jones and the whole team at the Braver Angels podcast, A Braver Way. And you will hear Gangstagrass music woven throughout. So if you're listening to that podcast and you're like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does. And we're excited because we're going to be part of the second season too. And the second season of that podcast is coming soon. So you have time to catch up, and then And they keep going. And in the very last episode of this first season was a nice little profile about Gangstagrass. And they talked about the band and you know, what's going on in the music and stuff. And they did not mention Bob Ross, sadly.
Yeah, but a big shout out to them for doing the work that they do, because having those conversations is important in order to get to some solutions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, Braver Angels, good folks. I had a lovely conversation with John Wood Jr. earlier today. Just terrific people, and both Micahs, saw both Micahs today. Shout out to Sons of Serendip and to the Jerusalem Youth Choir. Everybody's doing really, really cool stuff over there. Just all kinds of different ways to bring people together through music. Yeah, hashtag depolarize. Yeah,
that's right.
That's it.
And just a reminder, one of the things that we work on with depolarization is getting people to enjoy listening, dancing to Gangstagrass together, and letting their guard down a little bit and say, oh, you like this and I like this too, and getting a little bit of personal interaction there, because the authoritarianism and fascism that may be around the corner that some people would push for really depends on us being afraid of each other and being polarized to the extent of not trusting each other anymore. So the more we can get people talking, dancing, partying, and communicating, better it's going to ward off any attempts to get us to stab each other in the back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we all do better.
And we all do better.
That's right.
Yes.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
See, these are the two things right here: music and humor.
Oh.
Music and humor are the two keys to getting past political division, especially the sort of artificial divides that are being created, because that's where the financial incentives are at the moment. And so if you care about that sort of thing, about depolarizing, you'll do like Tom did and contribute to that Kickstarter, because that's the point of getting past that initial baseline goal. That's the point. Every dollar we get past that helps us get this music to more and more people. It helps us get this message to more and more people. It helps us get the educational component of Gangstagrass to more and more people. And, the New York Times may not be right about everything, but they got at least one thing right, and that was the headline: "This is the music America needs." This is the music America needs, and you can help us get it to more Americans by helping to support the Kickstarter. And if
not just Americans, but
not
to
just
the world.
Americans, yes, yes, that's right. Too, because the world needs. This is the music the world needs. That's right. That's right. And if you want something, some kind of like extra super duper big special thing that you'd like to do with Gangstagrass, something that you see that's maybe like not quite covered by the Kickstarter, you can always drop us a line personally and talk with us about that. There's ways to reach us through the website. You can always email us at gangstagrasscrew@gmail.com, gangstagrasscrew@gmail.com. You can drop us a line, and and we'll help direct you to figure out, what it is. We'll find out what you're looking to do, and we'll figure out if it's something that we can do together. I'm seeing the questions about the Kickstarter are still coming in. I am still not totally, because I can't, jump onto the Kickstarter to direct, but just, enjoy, just keep on browsing around, look at all the things, if you're having trouble on a phone, check it out on the desktop where you can kind of spread it out, and you can do that whole Control F text search thing to find exactly what you're looking for. There's fun stuff on the Kickstarter page.
Actually, on the left-hand side of that thing, there's a link that says how to add on additional items. If you click that, it'll take you right to it.
Hey, listening from New Zealand, what up, Dale? Thank you. Are you in the North Island or the South Island? I spent a lot of time in Adelaide, so one of my big dreams for this band is to get an Australia, New Zealand, Australasia Gangstagrass tour.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get us down to the South Pacific. I played there once,
Fiji.
and it's quite awesome.
I've just been watching a lot of Bluey. So
Hmm.
Okay.
the accents are distinctive.
You gotta dig the bite, Rice. So if you have a VPN and you have Netflix, my recommendation to you is set your VPN for Australia and go onto your Netflix and find Ronnie Chang International Student. That stuff is a riot, and it is so accurate. As a former international student in Australia, I can vouch that Ronnie Chang is telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth in Ronnie Chang International Student. But you can't get it on American Netflix. You got to VPN it.
So what I thought you were gonna suggest you do is go watch all your normal Netflix stuff, but change the audio track to Australian accent audio.
What? Wait, you can do that?
I don't know. It would be great if you could.
Yeah, someday.
Someday.
That's the dream.
I was ready to
Someday.
hear that was possible, but no. What is a thing though? Let me just get the name of it right. So in the show Bluey, right? There is a hardware store called Hammer Barn. And in Australia, there is a real hardware store. Sleeves, the name of that hardware store is... No? You never went to hardware stores? All right. It is called Bunnings. You know Bunnings?
Sure.
Bunnings. All right.
Bunnings,
So, Hammer Barn in the show Bluey, which takes place in Australia, Hammer Barn is based on Bunnings.
Ah,
And so, therefore, a handful of real Bunnings stores in the real world, well, in Australia, have been rebranded for a limited time only as Hammer Barns.
I love that.
Ah.
That's
Art
not going to
imitates
go
life.
away.
Life imitates art.
That is not going to go away. I don't believe it's temporary.
Yeah.
I think that is happening for evs.
Yep.
Yep. I love
Yeah,
Australian TV, man. There's so much good Australian TV. And there's a lot of bad Australian TV too, but that's true of everything, you know. But there's a lot of great Australian TV. Like, you know, there's the classics, right? You know, Kath and Kim, classic hilarity.
You know, when you say in this context,
You definitely know. You absolutely know.
We're not gonna know.
Kath and Kim you can watch on American Netflix. So if you want to do that. Yeah. There's a lawyery show called Rake that we should probably make sure that our son gets to see since he watches all of those shows.
They tried to do a US version of that. I
Oh, I
believe.
don't see that working at all.
No, it did not.
Yeah.
Would it? I'm just wondering, since we're all here, I'm just wondering because I'm seeing a few more questions about ye old Kickstarter, and I'm wondering if it's worth like screen sharing, just doing a little walkthrough.
But
of Kickstarter.
you wanna say what the questions are?
What are they?
yeah. Like Tanya's having an issue with I guess she wants to add on to her thing.
Yeah, we're talking about doing add-ons, and it's something we want everybody to feel like they're able to do because you all probably already pledged once. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Are you on a mobile device or on the desktop? The purple button I was directing you to is probably just on the desktop.
It probably is not on mobile. Let me see.
I will see. So I see the purple button you're talking about, Dolio, but I also see a green version of it even higher up. But it says manage your pledge. So there's like a green manage your pledge button. Then there's a purple manage your pledge button.
Okay, so it's okay.
And then,
yeah,
then
I
it'll
see
say
it now
like
too.
your selection down on the right side.
Okay.
That may be different on mobile.
Okay, so like if you're Yeah, so it looks like it on. If you start scrolling the page, then it on a mobile device. I mean, on a desktop, what happens is that the navigation turns into a reel where that green button turns into a purple button, which is why I thought it was purple. Sorry. But
You got all that?
But if you go to there, if you see the message that says you are a backer, you pledge whatever amount, there should be a button next to it that says manage your pledge. If you click the manage your pledge button, it takes you to a screen where you can adjust the amount.
I'm getting hardcore NPR pledge drive vibes right now.
Yes, right.
Like all I want is my Nina toten bag.
Right.
It's really true. Dolio, also, have you considered the possibility you may be green-purple colorblind?
No, they're
It
green
is-
and
it is-
purple. It's I vouch. It's green and purple. It's real.
Okay.
It's real.
I wouldn't be shocked.
This isn't going to be one of those dress things, is it?
So, want to talk about our tour van for a minute. I know a lot of the Kickstarter rewards include that when you back it, you will be providing a gallon of gas for the tour van, which is not necessarily the most fuel efficient vehicle. It is very small, and we make the best use out of the space just to show people a little bit what it's like. That's our tour van.
Yeah. We actually fit 6 people into that thing.
Can you show them
People had
the
the gear.
bottom where there's a hole cut out of the floor where your feet actually stick through?
It's like
a
the
hybrid.
Flintstones.
So
Right.
the gas only works part of the time, and then the rest of the time Wrench is just playing bongos like in the Flintstones, you know? You know?
Downhills are easier.
Downhills are surprisingly challenging though. They have their own challenge.
But it doesn't just buy a gallon of gas. So we also whisper their name into the gas tank.
That's true. Yep.
And then we drink the gas like Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood. You know?
This is why I don't watch movies.
Long straw. Here goes.
Drink your milkshake.
Long
Speaking of,
straw.
we also
Milkshakes.
will get milkshakes from your Kickstarter backing, which is a really important thing for us on tour, because we are crazy animal barbarians, and we will get lost and drink milkshakes and wake up the next morning in a dumpster.
I think it is so
Tour
kind.
life.
It's so kind when you say we, like we all. I just that's really I appreciate that. You could have just used my name, but you didn't. And that's it's kind. It's kind of you to do that. Yep.
Sometimes we come along for the ride.
Yeah. Milkshakes for everyone means I drink 5 or 6 milkshakes.
Indeed.
Awesome. I did have a couple of the little prompt questions for you guys before we go, if you'd like.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
If you'd like, we can do that. All right. So let's see. For the first one,
Suck it to me.
how many tennis balls can you fit into a limousine?
Ooh.
What type? It depends on the limousine.
Yeah, for me, it's been different every time I do it. So I'm just trying to think about the average would probably be about 3.
Okay.
It's a very small limousine.
it's the cousin of the van.
Right. Can I ask what type of limousine is it?
I'm
Is
gonna go with stretch Hummer limousine.
Stretch Hummer. Ooh.
Dolly was actually figuring this out.
Dolly was actually figuring
and we'll
it out.
we'll have an answer for us.
I don't know. I'll say somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000.
All right, somebody
See,
check
now
in.
that is a little bit more than 3. So,
But you definitely can fit 3 into a limousine.
Oh, wait.
You
And it's
might
just
or
is-
might
is-
not be able to fit 7 or 8,000 into a limousine, but you can
Oh, is it-
definitely fit 3 in.
Is it just within the cabin, or also the trunk?
The driver needs to be able to drive.
Oh, whoa.
Come on.
Okay,
The driver
new
needs to be able to
rules.
drive.
Can you open the
Okay, then I'll
seats?
stick with my 7 or 8,000.
Can you stuff the seats with tennis balls?
Ooh,
The
I bet
glove
that would be
compartment.
awesome until it wasn't awesome
And you
anymore.
I
fit
mean,
tennis balls into the exhaust pipe?
The mini fridge.
My only question is, can you shred or alter the tennis balls in any way because they're hollow, right? You're doubling your volume.
Yeah.
Yes,
if
I
you
think-
but are
shred.
they still balls if they have been
Yeah, they're not
shredded
balls
and
Yes,
anymore.
flattened?
if you take what you've shredded and then you crumple them up into a like a ball, you know, like a ball. I made a snowball today. I know
tennis
what
ball
that
balls?
is. Yeah,
Okay.
tennis ball.
Okay.
Tennis balls. Well, but then you know that also you're getting back to the number. So like, arguably, if you shredded it all up and then you put it in there, you'd really have one big mass, one ball. I say, one ball, but it'd be real big.
I was thinking another way it could be one ball is that if it was a tennis themed ball being thrown inside the limo.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good answers, everybody. Thank you.
That's like that, but that's like the after party at best, right? It's not even.
Yeah, that's
it's
more
like
like-
transportation between. Yeah.
All right. So next category is prankiest prank. And,
Wait, there was no answer to that?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer.
We'll have the answer after we do our next music video.
Okay.
Yeah. If we,
Yeah,
if
right.
we,
How
if,
many tennis balls
at the
we
point
get
at
fit into a
which-
stretch hummer?
at the point at which we hit 50K on the Kickstarter,
We'll rent a stretch
we
hummer
will
and
actually
fill
we
it
will find
with
out.
tennis balls so we can see who was right.
It feels like no, that's not a good use of their funds. We will do the math.
No?
At 50K,
They
we will
want
do
that.
the math for you, and we won't waste any of
Okay.
your money.
We will find
yeah.
a stretch hummer, measure the innards.
No, we will be more efficient with their money by hiring a professional, world famous mathematician at a very large salary with insurance to spend 6 months working on it.
I mean, it shouldn't take that long to figure it out.
6 months. 6 months it'd take that long just to find out whether it is solvable or not.
Mhm.
Not to give
That's
you the
right.
answer.
That's right.
I know
Is it a-
mathematicians, and that's what happens.
That's right. Is it a Turing complete question?
I've figured out that I can answer this
Mhm.
question.
Mhm.
Stay tuned for me actually answering the question.
Mhm.
Okay, so the category is prankiest prank, and I feel like Wrench probably has many answers to this, but the one that he recently mentioned that I want him to talk a little bit about is a little bit related to our Kickstarter, because there some ideas were floated around from people who know things about Kickstarters to suggest that if you're trying to like get to a particular goal, you can offer something special to whoever it is who actually gets you over that goal. But we, of course, immediately saw the incentive structure problem there, right? Which is that a lot of people would just wait and then try to pounce on at exactly that time. But if everybody's waiting and trying to pounce on at the right time, then you end up not actually getting the rest of the backing that you need to get there. So, so that reminded Wrench of a thing that he did during a certain shopping cart race
Oh, yeah.
back in the day, and I would love for him to tell you about that.
Yes, there was a point at which my shopping cart racing organization was put in charge of organizing the cross-borough shopping cart race in New York City, and I was interested in the concept of what if the race was being put on by an organization that is antagonistic to the racers. So we tried to mess with all of the people entering the race as much as possible. And one thing that we did was declare that 4th, 5th, and 6th teams across the finish line would get the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd prizes. And the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd teams across the finish line would win nothing in order to generate a situation in which all the teams that were first to get there would wait by the finish line and try to push another team over first so that they could get across the finish line fourth, which was very fun to watch. We also tried to put as many obstacles and trouble in the way of the finish line, things like car tires and whatnot that we would throw in front of the finish line, which are hard to getting shopping cart over. We make them pick up their shopping cart and carry it across the line, for example. So the whole race was designed as something that was not it was not friendly to the racers, which gave the race organizers a lot of pleasure watching people struggle with that.
Which is why it had such a zany name.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wait, did you say what the name of the race is? I'm not sure you did.
No, we did not.
The race is called the Idiot-a-Rod. One of my friends recently was at a cafe and overheard some youngins talking about the Idiot-a-Rod because it does take place in January. So we looked it up. It is still happening every year as new generations have taken it on.
Traditions.
Yay! Anybody else have a prankiest prank they want to share? It's okay if not. I really just wanted Wrench to tell that story.
That qualifies as a prank?
I think so.
It's kind of a prank.
I'm not
on
really
the
a
people entering the
prankster.
race.
You know me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Sleeves? Let's you next. You next. What's your prank?
Oh,
Self-proclaimed
no.
not a prankster. What do you got?
I've only ever pulled one prank ever, and it was, let's just say I get a message every year from well, maybe not every year, but I have received messages from the person that I pulled the prank on, being like, hey, you know, I was just thinking of you and that prank you pulled on me that one time. This is so embarrassing. I'm really not a prankster. I was dating a guy in college, and he was up at NYU, so I was down in Baltimore, and I thought we were dating exclusively, and I got a call from some friends of his, letting me know that he was dating two other women, one of whom was named Emily, just like me, and the other one was apparently a porn star of some sort. So I was saddened, and did something along the lines of, like, I basically left him a voicemail where I was like, we have to talk, but just like very, and I there was something, I don't remember what it was. There was something about it that gave, that may have given him the impression that he might have to pay child support for the rest of his life. I don't know exactly what I said, but it was something along those lines. And I let him twist in the wind for a little while, and then I was like, what? Nothing. Everything's fine. Nothing's fine. That is the only time that I have ever pulled a prank on anyone. I did not enjoy it. I don't feel good about it. Sorry, bud. Sorry that you're like still traumatized by that.
I have pulled many pranks. Seeing as I am from the 1900s, there was, and also prior to caller ID, and prior to something that we all used to know as Star 69.
Hey, that's the one where it dials the person back, right?
Yes, it calls the last person they called it back.
No, Star 69 was the porn star that dated your ex-boyfriend.
Hey-o!
Well,
rude.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but even as a teenager, I kind of always had the ability to do like the quote unquote phone voice. So I used to call people. That for us, please? Yeah, I was notorious for calling people and be like, "Hello, is this Dan Whitener?" Well, congratulations, you just won $5,000. And like, oh my God. And I would just wait for them to be like, I'd be like, hey, this is me. It's me. Calm down. Yeah.
Horrifying.
That was
Horrifying.
a...
Speaking
Okay,
of
Dan.
being-
Dan,
speaking of
we haven't
being-
heard from you yet.
Yeah,
Have we?
speaking of being in the 1900s, so I went to college in
Good for
actually
you.
the
That's
early-
wonderful.
No. What
Oh,
I did there.
That's a hell of a prank. What?
Yeah, got him.
Nice.
Yep, that's it. That's the whole. No, while on campus in the early, very, very, very early 2000s, I participated in a game, campus-wide game of Assassins.
Mhm.
Ah,
Oh, I
we
loved
did
that game. That
We
game
did
was
that
so
every
fun.
senior year. Every senior year.
I will describe.
Yo.
I will describe for children of today what it was and why you can never have it again.
Well, I know how to describe it to children of today. It's sort of, it's related to like an Among Us type situation.
It
Yes.
is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
real world Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically like Assassin's Creed multiplayer. But I won't get started on how Assassin's Creed multiplayer was even greater than
Why
playing
can't they
Assassin's in
have
real
it
life.
today?
Because
Well, because here's the stuff that we did. Because this is the closest thing to like a clever prank that I got. It was basically the idea was, each of you gets a target, and each of you is a target, and there's a very long list. And so if you take out your target, then you get their target, and it goes round and round until 2 people are left, and then one of them, and you have. Generally, it's something like water guns, or maybe you could use like a carrot, as
yeah,
melee,
we
close
did it.
quarters.
We did it with spoons.
Spoons, something like that, right? And there might be designated various, safe or off limits zones, or those of you who are proud to be hardcore, there were no safe or off limit zones, like the classes you were forced to take, or dining hall, or stuff like that. Places where you could and couldn't go after each other, public spaces.
No. Safe
But I just
zones.
remember
Wow.
at our school, the dorms were somehow not off limits.
Mm-mm.
And it just led
No,
to
sure.
it led to some things. It led to some real Jason Bourne hiding above someone's own door, like inside their own room, and waiting for them to open the door. Like because everybody's roommates, so your roommate would their roommate would let you into their room, just
So
ultimate
insidious.
betrayal. Ultimate betrayal.
Ed 2 roommate.
Yeah, I mean, really, really low stuff. But it was a great time, and I don't feel like the nation is currently in a place where that would happen.
Where school students should play something called Assassin because it's just
Yeah,
Too
well,
close to
too on the
home.
nose.
It's
Yeah,
not
that-
just that it's on the nose. It's you think about like all the behavior that it would all the stuff that we were doing. Just the backdrop was different.
yeah, we
back
had
in the
that same
30s.
game in my high school, and the previous year it was still done with like water guns,
Mhm.
and then but it like that got water guns banned, and then they were like,
Yeah.
well, there will be no playing of Assassins this year, but we still played it, but this time it was just called spoons.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
And in order to do it, basically we all had to have the same spoons, and they were official spoons. They were like stamped and everything, so that you got 2 spoons, and and you had to have your spoon on you at all times. But if the person that had you as the target caught you without your spoon in your hand, you had to give them your spoon, and that was their trophy for knowing that you are the person they got, and then you have to go get the spoon of the person that and then eventually you end up being the only person with spoons.
You had to have the spoon in your. I can't believe that the administration did not catch on. As dozens or hundreds of high school students are walking around carrying spoons.
They don't have to have it out.
Something is
You can just have it in your
suspicious
pocket,
about-
right?
Right,
Not
and it
that.
wasn't even a metal spoon; it was a plastic spoon
Oh, okay.
with a little cartoon character on the end. And there's like, but there were certain places that was off limits. Like you couldn't spoon somebody in class. But
I mean,
That's always been.
yeah, it's generally been frowned upon.
yeah,
Mhm.
We didn't have that at my high school.
unless it
We
was like
didn't.
yoga class or Lamaze or something. But
Aw. That's sweet.
You had Lamaze in your high school?
Florida.
hey,
Yeah.
Florida.
We did assassin at my IB school, and also at that school, the dorms prank that would happen now and then was when somebody was out, at class or something, the roommate would organize for the person's entire side of the room to be moved out and either just recreated outside or
Yeah.
switched with somebody else's room and redone in another room.
So
We
then-
do
then
that
you
in
gotta find
college,
it.
and we do it all the way down to making sure all the electronics were hooked up.
Yeah,
We
and,
did
and
that
it'd
to
be like on
somebody's
a
room.
roof too,
We
right?
we relocated one. I think he was a freshman. We moved
middle
his
of the
room to
square.
the stairwell
Mhm.
and took the number off his door and put it on the door of the to get into the stairwell. And he was like, "Why is this?"
It's got to go all the way.
Opened up. His posters were up on the wall. His internet was hooked up. Everything.
Mhm.
Did he just stay there? It seems like a perfectly reasonable choice. Like, okay, I live here now.
Mhm.
No, he just got the rest of his classmates to help him. I mean, a freshman at MIT, you get pranked a lot.
There does seem to be a bit of a theme to this game because while I didn't have it in my totally normal high school, I did have y'all had it at your IB high schools, and I had it at math camp. That was where we played. That's where we played Assassin. It started out just being the counselors, and so they had to be like very surreptitious about it so that the students wouldn't realize what was going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. They also had a bunch of other little things where like if you made a certain gesture and like nobody else saw you do it except the person you were making the gesture at, they would have to do, I forget what they called it, but basically like they'd have to make some kind of silly grandiose kind of gesture like a pratfall or something like that.
Okay, why this is just reminding me of that silly thing that the kids seem to be into these days. All right. Road
Those
story
silly
time.
kids.
Okay, by silly kids I mean demeanor.
I was thinking of I thought you were talking about the demeanor thing. Yep.
So this one time we went out on tour with demeanor, and it was a great time, very very good time. And he had this thing where he would make his hand into like a little like thing, and then he would try to get you to look at it. And he was dedicated like I don't know what else he applies that level of dedication to in his life. As great as he is at the many things that he does, this was it, right? Like so many times. And he got me once or twice. Like you're gonna if you try that many times. And we had a show at the Bijou, right? And we were sound checking, getting all ready. We'd been rehearsing and everything. And it was just really cool actually because the previous show, they had taped up all the mic lines, the little XLR cables and stuff, and there was a tape that said Rhiannon banjo on it. And so it just so happened that I got plugged in, my banjo DI got plugged in with the same XLR cable that had just previously been used to plug in Rhiannon Giddens' banjo. And Rhiannon Giddens, you may or may not know this, is Demeanor's aunt. So, when Jake Blunt says banjo auntie, he's being, sort of, it's not literal, but then with Demeanor, it is literal. And I was just really feeling the moment. I was like, hey man, I just want to say it's an honor to have you here with us. It means a lot. It's a great time. And I wanted to show you something cool, and I was going to show him the DI, with a little piece of tape on it. And I reached down to show him the DI, and I've never gotten somebody so hard. Like he really was all in on it, and I almost feel bad for like cheapening, sullying the moment, but it.
But he appreciated it.
Yeah. If you're out there watching, man,
he appreciated
it. You know what I did.
You know he'd appreciate it because because when we went, because you didn't go into like to Florida with us, and he definitely got us a bunch of times in Florida.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad it wasn't just me because it felt like it was just
it was
me.
all of us. It was all of us.
All right.
we had eventually we relented and had to join in on the game because it's something I hadn't played in a long time. So I was like,
Long time, man.
Long
It's
time.
amazing stuff like that comes back around. You know?
Mhm.
The kids.
kids.
That is the prank, my most recent prank that I'm definitely proudest of. But it's sort of hard. It's sort of a long story to get just like why that was such a powerful setup.
That's all right. We
Yeah.
got there.
Yeah.
There was a time, I think maybe ninth grade, me and my friends sat down at a Domino's, and one of us went to use the payphone in the Domino's to call Little Caesars and see if we could get them to deliver a pizza to Domino's, and they would not do it.
I had a pizza delivered to my car once.
Nice.
Yeah, I got pulled over into a no parking zone, and it was for like an expired registration, so the cop would not let me drive away or even drive into a legal parking space 10 feet away. So I just had to sit in the tow away zone and like wait
Forever.
for yeah,
And you never
basically I had to wait for
Yeah.
a tow truck for many hours. So I ordered a pizza, and I was like, it's a teeny tiny little blue green car parked in the tow away zone, like near such and such a building. And they're like, yeah, what's the address? And I was like, it's not so much about that. I'll roll down the window.
I can't remember
Hand me the pizza.
what it was I ordered, but I did get food. I did order Uber Eats into the audience of a concert.
Wow. That's some impressive delivery right there.
You were there.
Was I?
Yes.
Where was it?
Kung Fu Necktie.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't remember what the food was. Was it burgers?
I think it
Was
might have
it
been.
pizza?
I think it was.
I don't think it was Five
Burger.
Guys or something
yeah,
like that.
I was just gonna say. I think it was Five Guys. I think it was Five
Yeah.
Guys. Yep.
One time I was on stage and said I wanted milkshakes.
And somebody showed up with milkshake.
At the end of the show.
Milkshakes.
I kind of feel like that happened more than one time.
Yeah, okay. Memorably, Cincinnati Ludlow Garage.
Yeah, I very distinctly remember Ludlow Garage. Yes.
But I wouldn't count festivals. I feel like because it's so easy to just like, oh, there's the milkshake thing. It's right over there. Like that's happened at festivals.
Right. These
or
people
like-
had to leave the concert,
Yeah,
go get milkshakes, come back
ticketed
with the
venue.
milkshakes. Yes.
Yeah, it's just more of an elaborate thing. Like go to a totally separate business. Like these are for Gangstagrass. What? I've been here at this milkshake establishment all night, and I don't know what you're talking about.
That was awesome. Yeah, milkshakes.
Milkshakes.
Yes.
And I gotta give
back to that.
I gotta give a shout out to one of the great pranksters of history, Joey Skaggs. I'll just mention one of his achievements was many years in a row of sending out a press release to press outlets, TV places, alerting them about an April Fool's Day parade for them to cover, and getting lots of camera people and reporters to a non-existent event.
For April Fools.
At the Four Seasons.
And they did not see it coming.
No. Anyway,
You said that happened multiple years.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I-
one of those fool me once, shame on you.
That is definitely on
You
you.
can fool me,
Yeah.
I can't get fooled again. That's definitely that one.
If you look at Joey Skaggs' entry on Wikipedia, it's long.
It's a lie.
It's long. There's a lot.
Controversy, like he's not dead, is he?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, there'll be like, 5
Like he's-
controversy sections.
He's old. Yeah, he's old enough that some of his pranks may no longer be kosher.
All right.
Oh man.
I am gonna leave the last one, which is funny thing that happened on the road, for next time.
Okie dokie.
And let's head to bed, y'all. It's about time to get ready for the new day and find more amazing ideas for stretch goals for the Kickstarter. I'm
Yes,
excited.
and while we were at it, just remind you all who, if you haven't checked it out, I'm pretty sure most of you have. Go out, check out our new single, share it with people, have people check it out themselves, and have them share it with folks.
Yes.
'Cause, we're pretty proud of that song. It's pretty awesome, and the goofy little video we put together. I no longer smell like barbecue sauce, but for now,
Someday you will again.
yeah.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday evening. And at gangstagrass.com/Kickstarter.